and welcome to the Energy That Shapes Us. If you are an SPE member or working within the oil and gas industry, you know that our sector is going through a massive evolution, not just in technology, but in how we support our people too. Today I'm thrilled and glad to be joined by Siv Hanne Løkkesveen from Stavanger, Norway. Siv is a respected voice in the Norwegian oil and gas sector and known for her incredible work in the drilling domain and her passionate advocacy for the industry, which rightfully earned her the title of the Petrol Lady of the Year for 2026. Siv is a drilling manager in Aker BP, working in the Yggdrasil field, one of the largest and most promising energy projects on the Norwegian continental shelf. She has 17 years of experience across drilling, wells operation, and strong passion of leadership, safety, and digitalization. Siv Hanne is also particularly engaged in building a high-performance teams and strengthening psychological safety and driving innovation to deliver energy more efficient and responsible. So without any further delays, Siv, welcome to the show. It's really an absolute pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much, Mohammed, and thanks for such a very nice introduction. I really appreciate that.
Again, it's our pleasure. So let's kick in. Siv, in the oil and gas industry, physical health, safety, and environment is considered to be our top priority, especially in the drilling. It is ingrained in our daily operation. However, mental health is often left off from this safety conversation. So the question here, how can a leader better promote a mental health and psychological safety alongside physical HSE in such a high-stress, high-stakes environment?
Well, for me, promoting mental health and psychological safety in a high-stress environment like drilling, it is not about adding something extra to the HSE. It is about recognizing that the human side of safety is just as critical as the physical one. So in drilling and wells, we are pushing very strong on safety, on the physical safety. We have clear procedures, we have barriers, and we have a shared understanding that safety always comes first. And psychological safety, that deserves the same level of leadership, ownership. Because how people feel and think and cope under pressure, that directly affects the decisions that we make. And one thing I have learned as a leader is the importance of talking openly about pressure and about emotions. The stakes in what we're doing, they are high, and everyone feels it, of course. So saying things like, this is exciting, and I'm also a bit nervous, that creates space for others to be honest about their feelings too. So when leaders normalize the emotional reality of the work, people stop hiding the stress and instead start to share it. And that is when we can actually support each other. So I would also say another key aspect is making time for real and human conversations. So I would say some of the most impactful leadership moments, they don't really happen in formal meetings, but during a short walk outside, grabbing 10 minutes in the sun or rain in Stavanger, and also informal one-on-ones. I think these settings lowers the shoulders and raise the honesty, because psychological safety, it grows when people feel seen and heard and not just managed. And I would say we also tend to prepare very well operationally before major activities that we're doing, equipment, procedures, risks, but mental preparation matters just as much as well, because building in time to reflect and recharge will help the team to stay sharp when we enter intense execution phases. High performance, it requires mental readiness and not just technical readiness. So inclusion is another important part of this. People need to feel that they can bring their whole selves to work. Inclusion, it's not a statement, it is a behavior. So when people feel respected and safe in who they are also more likely to speak up operationally. And speaking up is really at the core of both safety and performance. And finally, I always try to remember that behind every role, is a human being. Energy level, learning curve, personal challenges, all of this will show up at work. And when leaders recognize the human side of performance, teams feel more supported rather than judged, and supported teams, they are safer teams. So to sum this up, if physical HSE keeps people safe on the outside, psychological safety keeps people safe on the inside. And leaders need to champion both, especially in high pressure environments like drilling.
Your answer is transitioning perfectly into how we are supporting one another on a daily basis, whether on onshore or in an offshore environment. And we are supposedly work in high integrated teams. So from your experience, how crucial the teamwork and the active community supports in navigating the heavy workloads and industrial pressure we face it today, especially in a high busy area like NCS?
So honestly, in my world, teamwork and community support is everything. The work we do in drilling and wells, it can be intense. The deadlines, the technical complexity, the pressure. But what makes it not just doable, but actually very exciting is the people that you're doing it with. So when we're preparing for something big, like a spud of a new well, it is never just one person that is pushing things forward. It is a whole group of engineers and specialists bringing their expertise, challenging each other, spotting issues early, and celebrating the small wins along the way. And I think that collective drive of the way of doing it is what keeps the quality high and also the pressure manageable. And structured forums with cross-disciplinary teams, they are very, very powerful. When you bring in different disciplines into the same room, the learning multiplies. People can see things from angles that they wouldn't have considered on their own. And suddenly the plan can become tighter and smarter and also more resilient. But I would say for me, community support is also showing up in the smaller moments. Talking with a colleague, or a quick debrief after a meeting or a long day, or sharing part of the load during a role handover. And conversations like that are important. They help you reset, stay grounded, keep the perspective, and create the feeling of we're in this together, which really matters when things move fast. And personally, I have always thrived in collaborative environments, and I do my best to lead in a way that will balance the analytical part with the human side of the work. Because I would say no matter how technical or complex our jobs become, it is still people that is delivering. And when operations move fast, it is the strength of the team that keeps everything steady, not because things get easier, but because you're never standing in it alone. And that's what makes teamwork and community support so critical. I would say it is the difference between coping and between performing.
Perfectly, once again, and I'm really interested in this human side of the operation. That's something that is really, I would say, underestimated within our operations. And let's think about the big picture, right? The energy transition is most sufficient shift in our generation. Let's call it, so the energy transition is the most significant shift in our generation. We are attempting to balance the energy security with the push toward a lower carbon future. So how do you see the innovation driving this energy transition, and what is the role as a traditional oil and gas professions, let's say, that playing in shaping that future, especially from your perspective?
I would say innovation is absolutely central in the energy transition, and not only in big strategic shifts, but also in the everyday decisions that we make in the operations. So in projects like Yggdrasil that I work on, innovation is no longer something that happens like around the work. It is the work, whether it is how we collaborate, how we plan and execute the wells, or how we use the digital tools and AI. Innovation is really becoming a natural part of how we deliver safely, efficiently, and with lower emissions. And I would say this is where traditional oil and gas professionals play a crucial role. And what excites me the most is how people grow when given new tools and new challenges. The energy transition needs people who understand complexity and who can make high quality decisions under pressure, and who have a deep respect for safety and operational excellence as well. And that experience, it doesn't become less relevant. It actually becomes more important as we push the boundaries in a responsible way. And a good example from our own operations is how we have used real-time data to support better decision-making. When running screens with swellpackers in the completion, we used wire drill pipe to read the friction number live. And that real-time insight allowed us to push the operational envelope safely and achieve a much longer run than what would have been possible with more conventional approaches. So for me, that is what innovation looks like in practice. Technology amplifying the professional judgment, it's not replacing it. And I would say that's also the essence of the energy transition. It is not about choosing between experience and innovation. It is about combining them. So I would say the future belongs to companies and people who can blend the deep operational competence with curiosity and adaptability and a willingness to try new approaches. And I would say when we get that mix right, we don't just keep up with the transition, we can actively help shape it.
Once again, excellent. And this actually, how shall I call it? This is impressive, and we, as a lot of young professions and SPE members watching this and looking to leader like you, given the fast-paced changes in our industry, what is your top piece of career advice for someone who's looking to build a resilient and impactful career in energy sector today?
For me, I would say a resilient and impactful career in energy, it starts with three main things. It is curiosity, it is courage, and it is community. So if we start with the first one, stay curious. Our industry, it's evolving really fast, from digitalization to new ways of working. And the people who thrive are the ones who never stop learning. They explore the new tools, they challenge old assumptions of ways of doing things, and they stay open to what's coming next. Curiosity, it keeps you relevant, and it also keeps the work interesting. And then secondly, to lead with courage. So whether you are working offshore, whether you're planning wells, or if you're working on long-term projects, there will be moments where you need to speak up, take ownership, or stand for what you believe is right, even when it feels a bit uncomfortable. And those moments will shape you far more than any job title ever will. And third, invest in people and community. Energy is a team sport. The strongest careers, they are built together with others. By sharing knowledge, supporting colleagues, and creating space for new voices to grow. Many of the most impactful stories in the industry starts because someone gave you a chance or because you chose to give someone else a chance. And I would also say yes to opportunities, even when they stretch you. Some of the most meaningful steps in my own journey started with a mix of excitement and nerves, and growth often feels like that. I would say if it feels slightly uncomfortable, it is probably a sign that you're learning. And if you combine curiosity, courage, and community, I would say you don't just build your own resilient career, but you help shape the future of our industry in a way that would truly matter.
This is a fantastic advice to end on, and taking care of our minds, supporting our teams, and embracing innovation is exactly how we are leading the energy transition. Siv, thank you so much for taking time to share your thoughts and insights with us today. It's really our pleasure. And to our audience, thank you for tuning in, and I would like to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below on how your team promotes mental health, innovation, and make sure to connect with Siv and myself on LinkedIn. Until the next time, stay safe and take care. Thank you. All right. right. That was